Hello, good people of the internet. I would say that we are in the middle of something I personally call an industrial grade spill of, for the lack of better term, woke. But I wouldn't even call it woke in this day and age. Woke is pejorative right now and it's kind of old news. I would call it DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. From the movies where DEI is incredibly prominent, it is spilling over into games. Like, you probably are aware of the recent debacle with Sweet Baby Inc., where it turns out that so many games are rewritten because so many games, especially storylines of these games, require a lot of diversity. They require characters to be as inclusive and as full of belonging, and the message needs to be taught to us in these stories, so stories are being changed by some external companies even. Right now, as you may be aware, Resident Evil series is in the middle of being rebooted. We had amazing Resident Evil 2, for example. Resident Evil 3 was a little bit meh, but the Resident Evil 5 modern version is one of my absolutely favorite games. I played it, I finished it, I 100% probably everything in this game, and I love it. Well, apparently there are some issues, at least according to Portal TheGamer, with Resident Evil 5. Apparently, the story and where the game takes place, and it takes place in Africa, it is problematic in this day and age because protagonist is white, and people who succumbed to virus and have been turned into, zombies as usual in Resident Evil 5, well, those people are black. And we are living in the age, like I said, of diversity. So, black people being, I cannot use this word for the sake of YouTube, but being deleted by a white person, that is a huge problem. Let's delve into the article, shall we? The title says all, as you can see. Resident Evil 5 is to R-IST for a remake. By the way, before I start reading this article, let me remind you something. Resident Evil 3 2, that's American soil, right? So usually zombies there are white and no one has problems, right? Resident Evil 4, however, you are trying to destroy Hispanic people, right? Like from that region. I don't remember if that's Portugal or Spain, but that's like a village in this region. Resident Evil 6, that's a region of China. Like, part of the story means you are going to be destroying Asian zombies. Resident Evil 7, you are returning to Louisiana, back to white people. Resident Evil 8, like closer to where I live, because that would be Central Europe, Balkans, like this kind of region. So, as you can see, usually white-skinned people, and no one writes articles about, people being R-ISTs because someone is going and clearing up zombies in these places. But, like I said, Chris Redfield went to Africa, there are a lot of black people, and the gamer has problem with it. Resident Evil loves a good remake. Capcom has been trading in reimaginings of the survival horror series since 2002, when the beloved original was brought back to life on the Nintendo GameCube. It's a stellar remake and the definitive version of the classic game. The same can be said for 2019 Resident Evil 2, exactly like I told you, which many now consider the best in the series since it exploded onto the scene 4 years ago. 3 wasn't great, it was meh, but it still had fun with its new spin on things. Now it's a Resident Evil 4 turn, a game so nice they remastered it twice, and now the remake treatment is set to introduce this banger compared to a new generation. Yeah, well, Resident Evil 4 is amazing. Now, Resident Evil 5 is the next logical step given it's a mostly iterative sequel with many of the same gameplay mechanics and set pieces. It also has mandatory co-op even if you are playing alone, removing what little horror was left by giving you characters with twice the firepower. I find it fun, but that's just me. Resident Evil 4 influenced Gears of War, and in turn Resident Evil 5 looked at Gears of War and decided it needed a slice of that grey, edgy and bloated pie. What's wrong with this? It's not a bad game, but I would struggle to describe it as anything more than a pale imitation. The game's legacy is also internally tainted by its R-ism. Intentional or not, it's there. Now we're getting to the good bits. I'm not going to read everything here, however, in general, it says about the trailer, because the trailer, apparently, according to the writer of this article, deliberately hid the fact that you are shooting black people in the game. And, well, the E3 2007 showing wasn't nearly as lucky with its preview of the game opening without the presence of your partner Shiva. Boils down to a hench white dude beating the crap out of hostile African natives. This caused backlash at the time, with the hasty addition of a mixed-race co-op partner making it seem like Capcom was trying its best to save face and pave over its unfortunate positioning. Yeah, so it's called positioning right now. The fact that skin color of someone who is fighting with, biohazard, biodanger, like people turned by the virus, and those people are from the Africa, and the guy is white, it's unfortunate positioning right now in this day and age, ladies and gentlemen. As you probably know, there are many games where, let's just say, Forspoken, where protagonist is black, and by the way, completely unlikable. However, she's fighting people with different skin colors, and no one has any problem with this. But when we flip it, well, some crazy unhinged people on the left have big issue with that. Let's continue this. I'm not saying a potential remake of Resident Evil 5 needs to abandon Africa entirely, oh thanks, only that major revisions are required for it to stand the test of time. Oh right, yes, so I was almost expecting the modern audiences trope here, but well, it's implied. The fourth is campy and far removed from reality in ways that allow it to lean into charming eccentricity. All right, yeah, so destroying Spanish, Hispanic or Portuguese, I don't remember, zombies is charming eccentricity. Black ones, no. While Resident 5 is far more grounded, realistic, and oddly graphic in its visual execution. Every Resident Evil is realistic and graphic, that's why we like the series. Everything feels a bit hopeless, even as you venture underground to pilfer ancient ruins for treasures. Stereotypes are reinforced with increased examples of vulgarity as the campaign tries to inject some manner of variety into its generic firefights. Oh my god. The article concludes with, history will come knocking. The second gamers are asked to confront Resident Evil 5's polarizing reputation and how it marked a turning point in the franchise that almost spelled its end. Forge an innovative new path into the future without relying on a troubled past. So yeah, they are not saying to remove the game from Africa. Let's just tweak a couple of things right now, right? Well, let's not have the action in African village, even though you have shown European village. You've shown like backwater places where those things happened. But in Africa, we must show technology. In Africa, we must show big cities. Otherwise, well, we are R-IST. I personally believe, and I really hope, Capcom will basically stick middle finger and tell those leftists to F off, and they will just make a great remake of Resident Evil 5. Because guess what? Most gamers don't give a crap. Okay? Most gamers don't care who we are shooting. I don't care if a zombie that approaches me is white, black, non-binary, gay, or whatever. I just want to use some weapon and pop the zombie's brains out. That's basically what I want. Pop their head off. This is what gamers want. And we certainly don't want dumb discussions whether, like, black-skinned zombies are no in modern day and age because of the diversity, inclusion, and equity. And oh my God, black people may feel offended because some white guy is going to kill zombies who are black-skinned. Jesus Christ, get out of my face, people. Like I said at the beginning, the spill is spreading, but right now we know of it. We know of Sweet Baby Inc., of people who literally are paid to rewrite those stories in order to not offend modern snowflakes. And I hope gamers will try to stop this craziness. And I hope Capcom will produce great game, and by playing this game, we will show middle finger to leftists. That's what I hope for. Thank you very much. See you next time. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe, drop a like and press the notification bell so you won't miss anything I upload. And if you didn't enjoy this, hell, subscribe anyway. At least you will know when there is a new video to actively hate.